Welcome to the StockOptionAssassin.com Trade of the Week video. My name is Eric. In this week's edition, we are taking a look at Alibaba Group, ticker BABA, and today's date is November 24th. And I wanted to zoom out a little bit before we get started and just kind of look at the overall chart. This is actually the entire chart. Alibaba debuted or IPO'd on September 19th. It kind of traded around for a while. You can see it takes a little while for the indicators to start working, if you will, because there's not enough data. And now that Alibaba has been around for a couple months, the data's there. We can actually start tracking this, and that's why we're kind of finally starting to really trade Alibaba on a short-term basis. I had actually picked up some BABA shares back in here for about 89 bucks, and I kind of rode those up, and I got out, I pulled back, actually got back in as a longer term play. But for this video, I want to look at a shorter term play. And let's zoom in a little bit. So a couple things. There we go. A couple things. So the recent high of Alibaba was 120. And also I want to point out this $100 level where this is kind of a big fat round number. The stock kind of came up there, consolidated for a few days, and then finally broke out and made kind of a new leg up, and then it pulled back. And I think it's ready to at least retest these highs, and very likely that this thing could actually make a new leg higher. Global macro-wise, China is starting to stimulate again. They recently cut rates. There's rumor they're going to do it again. So I think that bodes well for a lot of these Chinese type stocks. So the first thing I want to look at is the congestion area we had around 100. When we broke out, I'm going to put a fib on there for this last kind of leg up. This is an impulse leg. We broke out from this leg from about 97 was the low here. This was on October 30th. We broke out to about 120. You can see the high. We retested it and kind of pulled back. So we did have a 50% retracement of the last leg up, which is pretty normal, if you will. And we're back into the 382 zone. So I think there's a pretty good chance. We have our indicators here that pulled back and are starting to turn back up. So I think there's a good chance that BABA retests this 120 level. And then if it can break that, actually maybe head up to the 27 extension, which is this next line, which is about 125.47. If things get crazy, then we might be headed to the 618 extension around 133. But short-term wise, I'm really just kind of looking to take a move to 120, take some profits, and trail my stop up to 125 and just continue to trail stop on the rest all the way back up. So indicator-wise, our DMI short-term oscillator started to kind of turn back up, although it's flattened a little bit the last couple of days. But also our DMI stochastic extreme is also turning back up, which is kind of bodes well for short-term momentum starting to stabilize and turn back up after this pullback. So let's take a look at the option chain. And I actually picked up some of these options today. It was very kind of at the end of the day type scenario, and I picked up a few. And it is Thanksgiving week, and we're kind of in kind of a light volume flow. There could be slightly volatile, so I didn't want to go full position here, but I may want to add to this. And so first, let me reset this. We're going to look at the theoretical price tool. So right now, Alibaba is trading for 113.92. So let's just call this 114. And remember, we are looking for the stock to head back up to about 120, maybe 125. So what we're expecting here is a $6 move to the upside in Alibaba, and let's just call it the next week or so. So I'm going to bring in the theoretical price tool, and I bring it here, and you have some different choices if you're in Thinkorswim. I've created my own little list called Delta Theo Price Intrinsic, and you can see that it adds this little drop down here where we can fill in some parameters. So date-wise, today is Monday the 24th, and what we're looking for is December is looking for next week. Let's just call it next Wednesday. So let's give it a week, right? And we're looking for Alibaba to retest those highs in the next week or so and make approximately a $6 move to the upside. Because remember, we're trading at 114. We're looking for a move to 120. And I'm looking at the December 120 calls. That's what I bought today. I got in for about 190. I think I got in, so I'm up like $5 or something per contract. And you can see that if this is the theoretical price column, if Alibaba goes up $6 by next Wednesday, those options are going to be worth about $3.50. So about 75% gain or so in about a week. Then if the stock really gets going, which I think it could, and it gets to that $25 level, or let's go back to the chart, the 125 level, the 27 extension, that would be about $11 move. Now maybe that takes a little bit longer, so let's adjust our dates here. So let's just give that till Tuesday or so of the following week, and if that goes up by $11, then those options would be worth closer to about $6. So that is about a 200% gain. So Alibaba really has the potential here to, if it can retest and break out and kind of maintain this uptrend, you can make a lot of money with these options. Here's the gotcha. The risk or the warning here is that you're buying out of the money options. So you don't want to put like a 10% or 20% stop on this. We could get chopped around this week. What I'm going in with this is kind of a no stop, full risk position, with the idea that I'm risking the $1.90 that I paid today. I am risking the entire thing in order to potentially make $3.50 or even $6 on that move. So my risk reward is closer to a 1-to-1, but then possibly a 2-to-1 if we hit that second target. So again, out of the money options are a little bit riskier in the sense that if you don't get the move, they have zero intrinsic value and they're going to go to zero if Alibaba were to turn down. So you need to position yourself when you're buying these out of the money options. So that's it for this trade of the week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let us know, and we'll see you in the next update.